Hi beautiful, welcome to another High Vibe Honey. I am your host Gala Darling. I'm sitting in a garden. I'm basically just gonna sit in a garden for the rest of my life. Like, this is where I need to be. This is where I love to be. It feels so good. I pulled some cards for you for the week. They're beautiful, as always. And so this is for the week of the 30th of July. Ooh, it's made the whole table shake with my enthusiasm. This is for the week of the 30th of July, which is kind of a crazy week. Like, let's not get it twisted. We're in Mercury retrograde. We are in Mars retrograde. But it's all gonna be okay. We are gonna navigate it. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be smooth sailing. Do not fret. So the first card that I pulled, again, is from Gabriella Rosie's Bad Bitch Affirmations deck. That's what the case looks like. Here's what we got. I get high off my own supply. This is about really standing in your own power and knowing who you are and not letting other people, circumstances, situations affect it. And realizing that you have your own source of power within, and that this is where you go to rekindle your spark every time. Like, if you're feeling bummed out or sad or uninspired, the answer is not to, look at what everyone else is doing on Instagram or something like that. The best thing that you can do in a situation like that is to meditate, go within, spend some time by yourself, go for a walk, like enjoy nature, enjoy the world, and just reconnect to who you are. It's really easy for us to lose our sense of who we are and to lose our connection to ourselves. And especially with social media, we're a whole generation of people that are just consuming other people's lives. And some of us are just watching what other people are doing and not really participating in our own lives. And it is so essential that we are active in the creation of our own lives, because you can have any life that you want. You can do anything that you want. You can be anything that you want. You can wear a pink fucking wig if you want to. Like, it's your life. You get to do what you want. And so this card to me just reminds me that if I'm feeling uninspired, confused, not sure what I should do, then the best thing I can do is meditate and go back to the source, which is me. I meditated twice in one day the other day, and it felt so good, and I really needed it. I was having a day where my frequency was a little bit off, my vibration was a little bit off, I was choosing thoughts that weren't very satisfying, and we all know where that goes. Nowhere good. So I decided I was just gonna spend the day resetting my vibration. So I woke up, I meditated, I did some journaling, I went to the gym, I walked 2 miles, which people don't really do in LA, but it was great. And then I came home, I meditated again, I took a bath, and I just spent my time that day really resetting my vibration and getting into a good place. And it worked, everything kind of started to come together. But sometimes, no matter how practiced you are in maintaining your vibration, you're gonna have days where things feel a little bit off, things feel ugh. And you may not be in the situation where you can do what I did, where you spend the day fucking meditating and working out. Like, that may not be your situation right now, but you do have 5 minutes. You can spend 5 minutes meditating, 5 minutes tapping, doing what you need to do, resetting your vibration. So no excuses. If you're not feeling good, do something to make yourself feel good. And the craziest thing about this whole feeling good thing is that the more you make it a priority, the less tolerance you will have when you feel bad. So you'll notice that you don't feel good and you'll be like, okay, I'm gonna do something to change this right now. And then you just go and do that thing. And it's really beautiful to have a lack of tolerance for just going down that spiral. Who wants to go down the spiral? It doesn't feel good. It doesn't lead you anywhere positive. It doesn't help you solve any problems. You have to really clear your own mind in order to create solutions. So I want to encourage you to really be active in resetting your vibration whenever it feels off. So to me, that is what this card is all about. Getting high off your own supply is taking ownership for where you're at and getting back to where you need to be whenever you want to go there. So let's look at our tarot cards for the week. I also used the How to Deal deck again. You can buy it online. The link is below. Support female artists. And it's really beautiful. The artwork is gorgeous, as you will see. So let's look at what came up. So our first card for the week is the Page of Pentacles. Look at him. He's got his pentacle, which is a symbol of earthly abundance and prosperity. And he's just chilling out with it. And the Page of Pentacles is about being at the beginning of a project, which I mean, these cards, if you've been following, unfold every week. We had weeks of indecision and what should I do and which path should I take, and I think I want to do this thing, but I'm not sure if it's going to work, and I'm about it. But now we have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is like, yes, you know what you want to do. You're at the beginning of a cycle. You're at the beginning of a project. You're really excited about it. It's going to be amazing. And it's like a card of enthusiasm and passion, and also passion about something that's going to make you money, which is really cool, right? Like, who doesn't want more money in their bank account? So this card, just like many of the other cards from the previous weeks, is really reminding us we need to have a plan. So what is your plan to make this thing come to fruition? So what I like to do personally when I have an idea about something I want to create, I get a Google Doc out and I start making lists of everything that needs to happen in order for this project to come to fruition. And as I do that, then I start to put deadlines and dates and stuff in there, and it just helps me conceptualize the whole project. So it really helps me to bring my ideas, which can be lofty, down to earth into a practical, pragmatic way that I can really use them and actually start to make this thing happen. The other thing about the Page of Pentacles is it's not just about like making money or a quick buck. It's not just about like a short-term project. It's about something that's gonna generate wealth and abundance for your future. So this is a card that says that the things that you're focusing on and working on right now will have long-term effects in your life. This isn't just like, oh, this is how you're gonna pay your rent this month. This is something that is much bigger, much grander, especially if you execute it properly. And so what I really want to encourage you to consider is, because we are in a Mars retrograde and because we're in a Mercury retrograde, this is not a great time to launch things. It's not a great time to put new projects out into the world. It's not a great time to like start these new things. Mercury retrograde literally happened this week. So if you started thinking about it like a week ago, you're totally fine. So what you really should be doing this week is going through your projects and really reassessing them and thinking about, how can I make this better? How can I edit this? How can I really make this the best possible project? So let me give you an example from my own life. I'm such an excitable thinker. I have really big ideas and visions all the time. And one of the greatest things about my business that I love so much is that I have the ability to, once I have an idea, I can then make it manifest the next day. I can like create something overnight and have it be out in the world. And I love that about what I do. However, Mars retrograde and Mercury retrograde are encouraging us just to slow down. And this card too is even about like going back to school, getting the qualifications that you need, and really considering what you need to do in order to make this project a success. So for me, I have several things that I'm really excited about that I'm working on, that I want to launch, but I am going to hold off. And I was talking to my friend Mystic Medusa about this yesterday. Literally, we have ideas all the time, but sometimes forcing ourselves to slow down and really appraise things very carefully means that the project will be so much stronger later on, so much better, so much more successful. So give yourself this week to really look at what you're doing, make plans, be thorough, go through it, and be really practical. And use that energy to put into your projects this week, and I promise you it will feel so good, and it's a really important thing to be doing. So our second card of the week is an interesting one because it's kind of a sad card. However, there's a twist to it. There's always a twist to it. One thing that I learned from Biddy Tarot, who I love, is that when you look at tarot cards, they show you a problem on one side and a solution on the other. So it's never like, your life is over. It's never like that. There's always a solution hidden within the card, and it's hidden within the artwork, which is so cool. I mean, not in every deck, but in the traditional deck, Rider-Waite, there's a solution in every deck, which is really cool and really smart. So the second card we got is the Five of Cups. And so you can see this guy, he's got his cups, and 3 of them have overturned, and he's like, oh shit. He's doing like some weird dance move. I don't know what that is exactly, but he's doing some weird dance move. However, you may also notice that at the bottom of the card, these 2 cups are still upright. So these 3 may have spilled, but these 2 are still upright, which says all is not lost. So the Five of Cups often signifies some kind of feeling of loss or disappointment or defeat or regret. Sometimes it can be about looking back to the past and feeling disappointed, or like you wasted your time and like what were you doing and da-da-da-da-da, right? So cups are all about emotion. So the Five of Cups really tells us this is more about an emotional defeat or sadness rather than a financial one or anything else. So it kind of relates to other people really clearly, and quite often this card is about feeling disappointed by what somebody else has done or failed to do or whatever. And this card really tells us, like, were you potentially expecting too much from this person? Like, if you look at this extremely logically, were you maybe hoping that they could give you more than they can give you in this moment? Maybe. But it's okay. This card says that there are still 2 cups that are full. They are full. And that means that there is always potential. There is always room for things to be better. You may feel like, oh fuck, because 3 of your cups got spilled, but 2 of them are still full. There is always hope. There is always something better around the corner. Maybe this thing happened as a way of you growing and progressing. You know, contrast, which is like the stuff that we don't like, is always a catalyst for growth and for us to figure out what it is that we do want. I went to see Abraham Hicks last Saturday and it was absolutely amazing. I've been listening to Abraham Hicks since November of 2017, and it's completely changed my life, and being in the audience was absolutely amazing. And I have so much to say about this, but one of the things that they said that really stuck out to me was that when it comes to doing things, creating things, obtaining the things that you want in your life, your inner being doesn't choose the fastest way of getting there or the most productive way of getting there. Your inner being will choose the most satisfying way of getting there. And I absolutely love that. So it's about, sometimes the twists and the turns are what make it so much better and so much more satisfying, and make it a better story ultimately, and maybe give you more of a sense of real achievement and satisfaction and pride when it comes to fruition. Because sometimes we get something so quickly and it's like, okay, like the thrill doesn't last very long. But if it was something where there were twists and turns and, you know, plot twists and suspenseful moments, that really makes things so much more joyful and pleasurable when you finally get there. So this card tells us that really, even though you may feel like things didn't work out the way you wanted them to, all is not lost, all is good, and that there's like a satisfying way of getting to the thing that you want. Even though maybe this didn't turn out exactly how you wanted, you're still on the path, it's still all good. And this is compounded by our next card, which is the 9 of Cups, which is one of the best cards ever to pull. Most tarot readers refer to the 9 of Cups as the wish card, which literally means everything you're wishing for is gonna come true. I mean, it's so good I just gotta fan myself off. That's how good this card is. Like, this card is the ultimate card to pull. If you pulled like a really shitty spread, but you got the 9 of Cups, you'd be like, oh, it's all good. Don't worry about it. It's like pulling a 4-leaf clover. It's really amazing. So just so you don't think that I'm being overly enthusiastic just to make you feel good because we just pulled the 5 of Cups and it's kind of a bummer, I'm literally going to read you this description of the 9 of Cups off of Biddy Tarot's website, because I just want you to know, like, what I'm telling you is real. Okay. As a Cups card, the 9 usually refers to an emotionally fulfilling situation. Remember, Cups is emotion, so that's why. Okay. An emotionally fulfilling situation, such as the strengthening of a romantic bond, the solidification of a friendship, or the consummation of a sexual relationship. It shows that joy and happiness are within your grasp. In fact, you probably already have them. More on that later. It is a sign to enjoy the abundance of life and to feel each of your emotions as if you had never felt any of them before. See the perfection all around you. Right. So this is what this card is about. It's about recognizing that you already have everything that you want. Maybe you're just not allowing it in. And you will be allowing it in. It's coming. It's so close. But just to remind you to count your blessings and be so thankful for what you have now. Remember a few months ago or even a year ago when you were like, man, I wish I had such and such, I wish I had whatever, and now you have it? Did you ever think this day would come? Maybe not. This card, that's what this card is about. It's about no matter what it is that you're wishing for or wanting, it's within your reach. And remember to be thankful for the things that you have now that once upon a time were just a random pipe dream that were so far in the distance. You didn't think this would ever necessarily happen, and you were like, I want it, but it's cool if it doesn't happen. Well, fuck that, because it's happening. So let's get excited. So this card is just like, everything is so good. Remember to be grateful for what you have. Do your gratitude practice. If you're not doing the magical morning, it's a really good way to just get yourself into a positive vibration every morning. I have lots of videos. Well, I have not lots of videos. I have a video about it on YouTube that you should check out. And it's a really useful practice, you know, and just remembering to be fucking grateful is so important. And not just remembering to be grateful, but also not complaining. Let's just stop complaining, because no one wants to listen to it. It's not fun. It digs you deeper into the trench of what you don't want. Why would you want to put your attention on what you don't want? Let's just talk about the things that we do want in our lives, the things that we are excited about, the things that we do feel good about. It's funny, I learned this trick from my friend Terry Cole, who's an amazing psychotherapist, and I was having these like intrusive thoughts that were making me really unhappy. This is probably a couple of years ago. And she said, put a rubber band on your wrist, and every time you have that thought, just flick yourself on the wrist. And I was like, really? Does this really work? It really works. And you can do it for complaining as well. So in my case, I was having this intrusive thought that made me feel really bad, and I would flick myself with it. And after like 2 days, I just stopped having those thoughts, because my brain was like, yeah, I really don't want to deal with that, so like, let's not. And you can do the same thing with complaining. Just flick yourself every time you find yourself complaining, and you'll be a new person. Not complaining is so good. And why not live in a beautiful state all the time? So the friend of mine last night, he was showing me a video about, you know, we have the choice to live in a beautiful state or not. And you can live in a beautiful state all the time. I feel like I am in a beautiful state, especially while I'm in LA, like 70 to 80% of the time. And that feels really high. I'm very happy with that. And you know, the other 20 to 30% of it is giving me contrast. Like an airplane over the top of my thing. Like, whenever you have those feelings of like, this isn't what I want, or I don't feel good, or like, I wish this was different, it's really giving you the opportunity to expand and focus on what you do want. So even those shitty moments can be useful. But if we can make an effort to live in a beautiful state, so to be grateful, to be humble, to be excited, to be creative, to feel passionate, and to really be in the present moment with the people around us, then we can't lose. Parker Lewis can't lose. So that is your reading for the week. Some good ass cards. I'm very happy with these. And so let's do some tapping. So let's tap on the trickiest card that we pulled for the week, which is the Five of Cups, because I think this is the thing that's probably going to trip most of us up this week if we're not really on top of things, and especially if we are not thinking about the fact that it's Mercury retrograde. We might start to take things personally, we might start to freak out, we might start to get into a self-pity spiral, which is not going to feel good. So let's tap on this card and what we can do about it. So I want you to grab your water. I mean, where's my Perrier lime? I can't work under these conditions. I had a client session this morning. We were sitting out here in the garden, and she didn't have water, she had La Croix, and I was like, I mean, I guess it'll do. I personally think that La Croix tastes like if you sprayed air freshener over a glass of sparkling water. Like, why would you drink that? I'm really not into it. Anyway, it's not the point. So drink your water, and let's start on the karate chop point, and we're gonna tap on this Five of Cups situation, okay? Even though sometimes other people disappoint me, I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself. Even though sometimes things don't turn out the way I want them to, I accept myself anyway. Even though sometimes I have high hopes, and those hopes aren't always met, I love myself anyway. Because the truth is, I don't get to control anyone else. Other people are gonna do what they're gonna do. And it has nothing to do with me. So as much as I can take their behavior personally, I know that ultimately that's not gonna help me. I know that ultimately that's going to keep me stuck. And so I choose to release my need to control other people. I choose to release, oh man, I choose to release my expectations of others so they can live their lives and be free, just like I want to do. Okay, starting on the top of the head. Even though sometimes I want things that I can't always have, I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself. I don't even like admitting that out loud. I don't even like to think about my control freak tendencies. I guess I thought I'd buried them, or that nobody would notice. But the truth is they're always there, just under the surface, like the Loch Ness Monster, just waiting to jump out and try to control everyone. And then when things don't turn out the way I want, or when people don't come through, or when people aren't able to give me what I want, I get mad about it. Or I get sad about it. Or I get passive aggressive about it, which is even worse. And that does not feel good. So even though sometimes other people disappoint me and it makes me feel kind of crazy, I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself. And I recognize that maybe I have a part to play. I recognize that maybe sometimes I'm part of this too. Maybe my expectations are too high. Maybe I expect everyone to revolve around me. Just a little bit. And so I'm willing to release this belief. This belief that everyone should do what I want them to do. Just because it would be convenient for me if they did. Because that's not real friendship. It's not real partnership. And it's not real love. And I'm willing to accept that sometimes the things that happen that are bad are actually helping me get to a more satisfying place. They're actually helping me have a more interesting experience. Because as much as I want everything right now, and I can rest easy because the Nine of Cups tells me I'm gonna get everything that I want, which is cool. But even though I want everything right now, sometimes it's more satisfying when it takes a little bit of time. And I'm okay with that happening. If I think back on the really interesting, cool, satisfying things that have happened in my life, very few of them happen instantly. Most of them were a kind of winding road. And that made the story so much more interesting. And so much sweeter and more satisfying. So even though I want everything my way right now, and I might be dealing with disappointment or loss or sadness, I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself. I remember that everything is going to be okay. Because I'm always okay. And the wind in this garden clearly agrees that everything is always okay. Everything always works out for my higher good. And this is something that I trust. Okay, deep breath in and exhale. more water. So that was this week's reading, and I hope that it was helpful for you, and I want you to just remember to maintain the faith that everything is coming together, everything's going to be good, everything's beautiful. And if you're in doubt this week, I want you to remember the wish card came up. You're going to get everything that you want. But I want you to also remember the cards from last week, and we had temperance. It's about taking your time, being patient. Don't try to rush everything. It's more satisfying when you don't. It's all coming in good time. So enjoy your week. Play cool with Mercury and Mars retrograde. Go back through all your projects, make them strong, refine them, edit them, make them as good as you possibly can. And remember that everything you want is coming. I love you. I'll see you next week. Bye. This wind is not good for the old wig, I tell you. Woo! Gone with the wind indeed.